when I was in RTC, I don't see any good things of having a brothership. I am the one suffering. Aku duduk bilik sel seorang. Siapa yang merana, siapa yang susah is parents aku. Bila aku ingat pasal my parents' sacrifices, aku macam rasa all I need is to make them proud. That was my main focus. Jadi in order for me to do that, aku kena keluar daripada geng. Cuma how did I keluar? Kalau ikut zaman dulu, nak keluar nak kena tie kuat. Tie kuat tu kira ramai-ramai bantai budak tu for maybe 3 minutes, 5 minutes. Cuma at that point of time, to be honest, I'll just say openly, aku was ready for battle lah. Because this is my freedom, this is my life, my future. Kalau aku boleh fight untuk brother-brother lama aku, kenapa aku tak boleh fight untuk life aku?
Betul.
Jadi bila aku dah dapat settle the fight, that's where aku tunggu an opportunity cakap dengan geng aku nak relax. Episod ini ditajakan khas oleh Shima Martin Bridal.
Jangan lupa follow mereka di laman sosial mereka, Facebook, Instagram dan juga TikTok.
Dan juga korang boleh WhatsApp mereka di 8894 7691.
Jangan lupa pakai promo code Rebuild100 untuk dapatkan promotion $100 off
dengan package 2 pasang baju ke atas, because in Shima Martin Bridal, affordability
at its finest.
Hey guys, what's good?
Everything's good, bro.
Welcome back to Rebeat Podcast with me, Hassan Rahman
and Haikal Malik.
And this is Mad Rap Talk. So kita nak sambung lah. By the way, before kita nak continue kita punya story pasal nak join gang, berbual pasal gang nanti kita berbual pasal gang aku nak shout out to Aidil, kita punya guest. Kalau korang pernah dengar kita punya previous guest where aku invited Aidil, shout out to him for making this baju rebuild solid, molid, selesa. Aku memang customize baju aku dengan dia untuk dia printkan kita. Baju ni aku buat ni is ada word rebuild dengan logo. For Haikal Malik pula dia ada just the R logo.
Tapi kenapa kat sebelah kanan, bro, nak bilang?
Aku specifically buat untuk Haikal punya sebelah kanan.
Okay, korang tak boleh beli lagi Jangan dia jual di sebelah kiri je.
Tapi aku belum plan nak jual lagi lah. But insyaAllah doakan if everything is go smoothly, mungkin satu hari lah kita akan keluarkan merch rebuild podcast ni. Pasal memang aku pun berbual pasal podcast ni, berbual pasal rebuild ni. Kalau I want to touch more lah. Macam kadang-kadang orang tanya like, okay, the most cliche question is kenapa rebuild? Rebuild ni basically is about rebuilding back life lah. So semestinya kau jatuh, kau tak boleh bangun balik.
Betul.
You know, and move forward with life. When we talk about the logo pula, personally yalah aku suka hitam lah. And for rebuild ni, kalau korang perasan aku punya rebuild ni
ada macam shuriken. Kenapa?
Okay, tapi this is the logo lah. Okay, because it signify the R, right? Tapi kalau kau perasan, aku punya rebuild ni ada full stop. This full stop ada makna tau sebenarnya. Dia bukan just for the sake of nak nampak lawa ada full stop. So pada aku macam, okay, ibarat macam aku just like this, like, okay, kau nak berubah kan? Okay, dah berubah, full stop.
Faham.
Kau faham kan? Macam aku tengah rabak kan, tengah susah kan, tengah tak ada duit kan, hasil lah, full stop lah. So pada aku macam okay, kau rasa kau nak rebuild back your life, then just get up, rebuild, full stop.
Focus on that lah.
Focus on that. Tak payah nak ada comma, lepas tu dot.
Tapi kan aku nak kena tunggu aku dah
nak sambung-sambung, time lambat lah. Tak mau hege-hege. Kau rasa nak buat, just let's do it, full stop.
Don't stop, bro, just go je.
That's why aku sengaja letak nama rebuild ni full stop lah. Pasal aku bila buat logo branding ni memang ada the reason behind it lah.
Correct lah, mesti nak ada reason.
Yeah, so cakap pasal reason pula, apa reason lah kan? Kita dah share dengan korang apa reason dulu kita join gang. I mean like, to be honest, it's just a stupid thing to do. Macam by right tak payah pun, tak perlu pun nak join gang. So kalau if I were to turn back time, would I want to join a gang? Definitely my answer is no.
Correct.
But at that point of time, maybe not all of us are lucky enough, you know, to be jumpa dengan a pool of friends. Macam ada orang daripada kecil dah campur budak kampung.
Betul. Budak
kampung semua budak-budak baik, tak main baju, budak-budak main bola.
Aku pergi madrasah pun tak ada kawan-kawan baik, bro.
Betul. Sama juga macam aku pun ada kawan yang masuk universiti pun main baju jugalah kan.
Juga.
Sometimes also it depends on who are your best friends. Macam sometimes we are just at the wrong place and at the wrong time. You know, kadang-kadang macam, of course kita have the option, kita choose kita pay life, but it just happen that at the point of time, being naive, kita macam kadang-kadang kita tak smart enough to make a decision.
Yeah.
So tadi kita cakap pasal joining a gang. We are telling you to not join a gang. But I do know that people who listen to our podcast are still in the gang. Definitely. I have to be straightforward. Macam yes, before we wanted to record this episode, kita macam worry, ni talking about gang is a very sensitive thing. Pada aku not coming after the gangs. Okay, I'm working towards the parents, the society.
Yalah, pasal kau seorang bapa apa kan?
Especially macam anak aku. Aku of course have my concern for my kids. Because of course lah, siapa nak, aku pun tak nak anak aku join gang and everything, right? Tapi aku tahu yang anak aku pun akan di-expose dengan budak-budak yang join gang, kan? So likewise juga macam mungkin ada pada tak payah dengar lah ni pasal gang, anak aku tak join gang. You may never know.
Lah.
It may not be now, but at least kita dengar. These are just like what they say, it's just an information for reference lah.
Correct.
Orang cakap, oh these things happening memang does not mean kau hantar anak kau sekolah bagus pun means your child is safe. But we are just taking precautions.
Jangan ingat kau DSP pun anak-anak kau akan jadi baik.
Exactly. So of course yes, kita nak doa yang terbaik lah kan. But yes, sometimes things happen, but does not mean it's the end of it. Okay, so sekiranya kalau what we are going to share here is where stories macam how can we tackle. So contoh kalau yes they are already in a gang, how can we help? But what are our mindset? Because we have to understand. That's macam kadang orang tanya aku banyak orang tanya aku tau, San, what's your point of view of the bully case? What's your gini semua? A lot of people akan mengutuk, akan kata bodoh lah ni budak macam faham lah, ni budak kecil nak bully orang. Tapi from my perspective, aku tend to understand. There must be a reason why they bully. There must be a reason why they did that thing to that person.
Correct.
Okay, instead of aku attacking atau condoning, memang I don't condone any violence, any bully, right? But there must be a reason. We want to understand deeper. Kenapa kau buat macam ni? Dan aku marah kau, kau asal pergi bully dia, asal kau pergi rembat dia. Kita nak kena faham deeper.
But we don't understand why he did that.
Kita nak kena tanya dia juga. Kita nak kena tahu kenapa kau pergi bully dia. Apa kau buat gini-gini semua. Kau rasa patut ke kau bully dia? Apa kau dapat kau bully dia?
But there was another video of that kid kan, when dia dekat dalam rumah. Dia kena kat luar rumah, dia kena balik. He did not retaliate back.
Yeah.
And then the way you see how he respond, actually he is actually also facing something that kita tak tahu.
Yeah, correct.
Cara muka dia buat gitu kan, kita tahu macam maybe there is something wrong in the household.
Yeah.
Mungkin dia pun went through abuse, which kita tak tahu. So I think for me also, aku don't quick to judge ke, judge too quick.
Yeah.
Quick to judge
I mean, I think it all depends also. Macam I think I'm hoping, I hope that it's also a lesson for that boy lah. Macam dia kena tahu, kadang-kadang kau bully orang, besok orang pun akan bully kau. Sama juga macam dulu, dia macam Tom and Jerry. Aku pukul dia ni besok pukul aku. Aku jalan pun tak selamat, aku keluar sana, aku cari dia, besok dia cari aku. It's a never ending game lah.
Betul.
Macam I don't want to be living in that kind of life lah. I don't know what's so fun and thrill about it. But yes, at point of time I find that it's thrilling. Tapi lama-lama macam merepek nak mampus lah. Tapi
but that's the thrill yang kita jumpa lah.
Apa best dia join gang ni, Haikal? Kau bilang sikit kenapa kau join gang. Apa best sangat ni kau join gang ni?
Uish, zaman dulu, zaman kat Boys Home jangan cakap lah. Okay, aku bila kat Boys Home, aku tak nak have that aku secretly share with certain friend, right? Yang mana diorang dah tahu. So kita secretly form a bond from there.
Okay.
So like we said, right, the gang A was controlling the whole Boys Home. So aku macam, diorang dah tahu aku ikut this gang. So kita form a secret, like this special bond with one another. Sampai aku namakan kita macam bond of destruction.
Bond appetite
Bond Brothers of Destruction, something like that lah.
Korang ada nama for that clan lah.
Untuk kita, aku dengan dua baju aku, apa aku draw.
Okay.
Aku dengan ni budak pun draw. Kira kita macam jiwa lah. Then from there, kita punya bond tu spread to other people. Cuma tengok macam diorang ada this special bond, diorang pun nak buat macam kita. So suddenly this gang macam jadi gang A dah macam dah menghapus kan. Itu yang gang B mengembang.
But are these people who joined your clan? Because apparently it wasn't a gang yet. It was a brotherhood clan kan?
Correct.
Are those people yang join kau punya clan, are those yang rejected or neglected by gang A?
majority of them.
Okay.
And then partly because some of the gang A bully diorang dengan cara rabak gila. So they want to seek revenge.
Understand.
So bila diorang nak seek revenge, they want to have like brotherhood.
Yeah.
Macam kau pergi je, apa kita backing kau.
So diorang tak ada a sense of belonging in gang A. That's why they look to your clan lah.
Correct.
To have that sense of belonging over there.
Correct.
Okay, faham.
Tu yang bila budak-budak ni semua dah tahu kan, diorang ada backing kan. Dengan this person, dah ada backing kan. Okay, tak apa, diorang berani nak langgar ni, berani nak buat. They are more brave. But of course lah, bila aku macam nak tak encourage orang, cakap tak payahlah nak gaduh. Kita kalau nak gaduh, ingat korang terror, kita keluar, kita tengok. Dalam pun kau boleh buat apa-apa pun. Kalau tengok kat luar, kau boleh buat apa. Cari lah kat luar.
Tapi memang for me personally, macam aku, kalau kau tanya aku, back to the question, kenapa apa advantage dia aku join gang. Okay, for me that point of time, what I wanted was not the cliche answer, not the sense of belonging. Aku nak power.
Faham.
Aside from, okay, pasal aku join gang before aku masuk Boys Home.
Correct.
Okay, memang yes, I felt there's a sense of belonging. Aku rasa macam aku ada kawan, aku ada brotherhood. So aku rasa macam aku already have a circle of friends. Kalau aku tak main gang, aku tak main baju, aku takkan ada kawan.
Correct.
And then kawan-kawan aku yang macam yang tak main baju, yang these people yang aku tak boleh click with. Orang yang aku boleh click dengan orang yang main baju. Jadi pasal dorang gundul, in order untuk aku click, pasal aku dah boleh click dengan dorang, jadi aku pun kena jadi gundul macam dorang. Tapi bila dekat dalam Boys Home, when we talk about why we join gang, is technically because of power.
Yeah, correct.
Macam pada aku, not say it's fun, that is the advantage that I wanted. Power in terms of, bila aku dah join gang dengan dorang, bukan cakap pasal aku ni nak hidup senang, pasal aku join the gang. Tapi bila aku join the gang, aku nak power. Means, contoh lah, macam one of the reason juga, that point of time, tak payah masuk WhatsApp, tak payah tanam.
Dah senang.
Tak payah
hidup
mata.
Senang tu, tak payah mata, tak payah cui.
Tak payah mata, tak payah cui. Makan pun, makan banyak.
Betul.
You get a lot of advantages.
Di saat tak ada orang dalam bilik, siapa cui untuk kau?
Maksudnya?
Saya kata kadang-kadang kita naik, kau ada macam extra duty kat bawah kan. Then kau naik seorang, then kau tengok 2-4 ada orang, kau panggil siapa? Yang paucak-paucak ni, semua kat atas ni. Yang kira yang kelepis semua kat bawah.
Tak tahu.
Panggil members lah.
Siapa yang members nak pergi matakan kau?
Tengok lah, kalau kat sana nak isap rokok, jadi kita macam cross path gini. Macam okay, aku duduk sini, aku atu fai, kau atu for kan. Kau tengok sana, aku tengok sini. Datang sampai. Kau tak gitu
Aku tak lah.
Zaman aku kira macam kita nak panggil tu fai, tak ada orang bro, turun boleh bro, aku nak isap rokok. Korang matakan aku sekejap boleh?
Dah lah.
Dan aku tengok kau sekali.
Tapi memang kita cakap, not just inside Boys Home lah. Kalau kita continue juga bila kita dah keluar Boys Home pun, what are the other advantages we have? Advantages we have is just essentially apa tau? Kita ada tangkis.
Aku found out one. It's because sometimes kita nak the connection. Saya kata, bro, aku ada nak pergi ni club. Kau boleh jamin tak? Bonzen ni aku punya brother lah. Dia boleh jamin kita. Jadi kau masuk VIP punya treatment.
Tahu itu bila dah meningkat umur lah. Tapi during the youngster, because it all started from teenagers apa. But during the teenagers, what are the advantages? Because of course lah, kalau kita cakap umur kita dah 18 ke 19 tahun, there's more advantages. Pasal you all started from teenagers apa.
Correct.
Tapi during teenagers, apa kau rasa lagi yang the good thing of joining a gang? Apa lagi benda yang kau boleh keluarkan?
Kalau tu aku dah tak,
kalau setakat tu je
I didn't join the gang when I was young bro.
Okay, tapi kalau setakat tu je join the gang, macam myself tak payah join Sul.
Cuma macam envy lah. Kalau kau main basket, kau main bola ke mana-mana, kau rasa macam that pride. Kau tahu kau keluar gimana-mana kan. Kau tak takut dah kira apa-apa kau picit semua dah turun. Tapi tu dulu.
Yeah, but also another thing that kenapa juga orang macam say this is my point of view personally for me, I think like I said just now, is because of power. Okay. Another thing is because of pride.
Betul.
Kadang-kadang kita ni sebenarnya, to be honest pun tak suka pun nak pergi rimbat orang, nak pergi potong orang. Kita takut juga sebenarnya kan.
Takut je.
Tapi sometimes kita just want to make a name out of it. We just want people to talk good about us. And being naive, being young, kita feel good.
Betul.
So bila perasaan tu ada dekat dalam diri, makin kita nak buat banyak. Because we want to have a name out of it. Macam
tapi aku cerita dulu, aku dah potong budak tu, aku tak nak buat lagi.
Tapi macam that point of time, kenapa kau nak buat? You had an option apa?
Yeah.
You had an option apa? Kau boleh pukul pakai tangan dia apa? Kau boleh kasih satu tumbuk je apa? Tapi kenapa kau nak kasih dia, kau nak tumbuk dia banyak kali? You had an option to either beat him up or just and not using a weapon. But why we use a weapon? So right. Technically pun okay, macam aku, my problem with me that point of time, like aku share dengan korang, is because of the revenge. Ada tu dendam. Other than that, when we talk about advantages is okay, what we do, kita ada activities. So what are the gang activities sekarang yang orang buat? Apa, lepak?
Tak, masuk Mobile Legend, create satu gang, bunuh oleh orang.
Tapi tu dulu, kita cakap pasal dulu ke?
Tak sekarang ni.
Sekarang
Bawah blok ramai-ramai, berada-berada, jom kita masuk main
salah,
ML.
people do that.
Tak lah, aku tak tahu.
Like, that's the thing. Macam time aku, what are the activities kita buat? Apa, setakat bagi Lucky Plaza, main pool. Lepas tu lepak kat Taka Garden,
isap rokok,
minum beren. Apa lagi kita buat? Okay, other than that, okay, kita nak curi punya time. Aku time dah geng kan, dah tak ada curi lah. Pada aku dah by then kan.
Curi it's not from a gang
lah. Itu dulu tau. Dia sebelum join gang tau.
Oh, dia tak. Kalau dulu kita lepak bawah blok, ramai-ramai lepak. So kau akan tahu, okay, blok ni siapa duduk selalu, blok sana siapa duduk selalu. So misal kata Pasir Ris 400 lebih budak-budak ni duduk, 200 lebih budak-budak ni duduk. Oh, budak 600 lebih siapa-siapa duduk. So dia macam there is different friendship punya clan tu. So bila kau dah macam kau langgar sana main territory kan, kau jawab.
Tapi macam pada aku, like kalau aku fikir balik, what is so fun about it?
Tak tahu. Then after that bola, kalau orang main bola, nanti orang buat meeting lah, bola. Tahu dulu main time is takraw.
Yeah. And the sad part is, bila part apa, macam sometimes bila muda-muda ni, bila kita kebanyakan yang join gang, it's all about friendship. Having an activity, doing an activity together among the gang friends. But the activity those back then, it's all about, okay lah, macam main pool, main arcade, apa lagi kita buat, kita lepak-lepak,
para dance, para
habing kan. So macam buat benda semua dapat buat ramai-ramai.
Dulu okay, I think this because I think at my time, kalau kau lepak dulu Tampines kat Sogo sana, dulu kat tingkat 2, kat sana memang budak-budak Cina jaga. Pasal arcade is conquered by all the Chinese.
Dulu
kita makrib duduk semua bawah blok dengan gitar tung.
Betul lah, dengan playground lah.
Jadi kita ada tempat-tempat dia, kita ada territory kita. So kalau kau kenal, kalau kau in the same gang of with all these Chinese people, diorang macam okay, boleh join orang, boleh masuk, and kau feel free.
Correct. Tapi that is also dangerous macam okay, ni aku punya point of view lah. Bila kita YP kita teenagers kita ada zaman gemilang kita where kita are actively involved in fights. Okay, besar memang it all started from lepak. Okay, it all started from okay, kita lepak dulu, lepak Taka Garden. Nanti dah mabuk sikit, jom activate orang jom then macam small little incident jadi gaduh. And then macam kau ada personal issues, dia ni berbual pasal aku, ni dia berbual belakang aku, engkau make it a big issue. Habis kawan kau jiwa apa, macam contoh orang lancar wing kau, orang berbual belakang kau dah mabuk tau. Dia ni pernah berbual belakang aku. Then aku nak tunjukkan kat engkau aku berjiwa dengan kau. Okay ke, siapa ke? Jom kita kasih lah. Tapi just on a small minor thing saja.
Tak ada apa-apa pun.
But that was those teenage punya time. But sadly, bila kita when especially for you guys kalau korang tak stop, because teenagers is all about, we don't talk about making money. Okay, back then it's all not about making money yet. Okay, it's gang kebanyakan selalunya is all about being in gathering, gaduh, jual VCD. But tu belum lagi talk about money dulu. Okay, tapi kalau korang tak stop, dia ada to a certain age korang dah stop gaduh tu. We're talking about, okay, contoh lah, kau teenager, kau dah gaduh kan, kau masuk TC, mungkin keluar kau gaduh lagi sikit, duduk prison ke apa kan,
after that tak nak gaduh lagi,
dah
tapi
malas. That's when nanti diorang cakap, zaman sekarang bukan zaman gaduh zaman sekarang zaman bikin duit. So they are not involved in the fights, but it will eventually evolve into
making money
the illegal way.
Betul.
Itu yang how dia punya proses tau. Macam dia punya cycle. Macam kau started in joining a gang, kau gaduh. Kau dah habis gaduh, kau dah tak payah gaduh lagi apa. Kononnya nama kau dah hot lah, orang nak kenal kau. Tapi kau pun dah senang cakap macam, okay, it's not your time anymore, ni semua kerja YP. And then that's where you will start to get involved in
Making money
punya in a illegal way. And actually that can result you to be in a place, okay lah, jangan cakap hang to death lah, but we're talking about, okay, the standard thing yang kita akan buat is jual dadah.
Bro, banyak bro, kepala-kepala
ni standard apa,
kepala gangster semua.
It started from consuming dulu. Okay, you are involved in, mesti kau cakap apa, aku nak bikin duit lah. Oh, nak bikin duit lah, okay, kau akan elevate tau. Dia akan pelan-pelan elevate. Gang ni dia sama macam kita kerja in a corporate company. Kau start pada bawah, lepas tu kau naik pangkat, kau jadi manager, lepas tu that is the same process. Cuma everything kau buat tu, dia punya responsibility gets higher and higher and higher. The risk and the responsibilities is higher, but the punishment is much more severe.
Correct.
That's why kalau kau perasan, based on kita punya kita punya guest punya episode, it all started from small little things. Daripada rokok gaduh curi dadah jual, and that's how it starts to elevate.
There's a cycle lah.
The cycle is there.
Correct.
Jadi macam bila orang buat benda-benda macam gini, that's why they need to understand when they should start pulling a break.
Correct.
Jangan sampai, okay, memanglah macam unfortunate for some of our guests, ada yang duduk multiple times.
Correct.
10 kali, 11 kali, tapi dia sempat berubah.
Itulah masalah dia.
Kalau
but there is
berubah,
always a reason why they change.
Yeah, but what if sekarang kalau korang tak berubah, korang rasa macam, alah, merepek lah, aku takkan relax lah, main baju apa nak relax lah, nak buat, nak degil terus lah, orang cakap.
Full stop.
Tapi lepas tu kau kena tangkap, lepas tu kau kena, ada severe sentence. Walaupun kau tak kena death sentence lah, tapi if you are caught with something that is gonna jeopardize and affect kau punya freedom 1 year ke 2 years ke, korang nak ke?
Aku tak nak bro. Sekarang untuk aku, even a minute, okay lah, a minute is just bedit lah. Even 1 month, 1 week berbesar dengan
bro, 1 day pun tak boleh bro. Aku kena tahan dekat custom Malaysia pasal masuk lupa nak cop pasport, kena duduk tu loading lockup. Bukan lockup lah, dia macam just loading lobby.
Loading bay lah.
Benda nak mampus.
Tak ada handphone pun?
Ada handphone tapi tak ada internet.
Oh ya.
Pasal dia internet macam down ke apa, macam tak ada. But aku just find macam boring gila. Macam diorang tak sayang ke korang punya freedom. But like we said, sometimes yes, we know that there are listeners who are still in the gang, because diorang ada some involvement lah that diorang buat, and dah kebiasaan. Tapi it's not too late to stop.
Yeah, betul.
But aku nak share dengan korang juga my story.
Okay.
Macam mana aku relax. What
the
gave me
relax tu kira go
out from the gang. What gave me the courage, what made me decided to stop everything once and for all. Untuk aku, okay, actually cerita aku macam gini. Aku dah keluar Boys Home, sebenarnya aku dah relax. Aku dah relax pasal aku rasa tak ada purpose. Okay.
Correct.
Aku pernah share dia dekat podcast, in some other podcast and in my previous episode juga. But then bila aku dah keluar tu, aku dah start nak cari purpose, I couldn't find one. Tu yang aku relax balik. Tu silap aku dekat sana. Okay, pasal aku dah nak relax, tak nak main baju, just nak find kerja. Tapi tu aku masih muda. At 16, at the point of time when I got released from Boys Home, I was 16. Aku tak ada kerja, tak ada apa. Dah mendak dengan, macam tak nak duduk rumah. That's why I start to meet with friends. Aku join balik gang. It got more severe. Aku start to be involved in fights and everything.
Betul.
Bila aku masuk RTC, that's where I start to realise. I think this is very important for you guys to understand. Sekali-sekala dengan hidup korang, always try to sit down and see the bigger picture in life.
Betul.
Kau kena tanya diri kau tau kadang-kadang. Sometimes kau kena bobol dengan diri kau.
Bukan kita gila ke apa,
memang that's the way. Macam kau kena cakap dengan diri kau, worth it ke main baju ni? Okay, kau kena bilang diri kau apa direction kau. What are you going to expect for the upcoming years bila kau masih dalam gang? Jadi bila aku masuk dalam RTC, that's where banyak benda yang aku nampak in terms of no one is there to support me in terms of magazine. Pasal kat dalam kita ada magazine, ada buku apa.
Tak ada orang nak bawa.
Aku tanya mak aku, ada orang tak, ada orang dah kasih duit tak? Tak ada. Surat ada. Ada kawan 1-2 tulis surat, tapi 1-2 je. Gang beratus-ratus orang, berada beribu-ribu orang, tapi yang tulis surat 1-2 orang je.
Di sini sana pun berada.
Tapi bila aku tanya mak aku, ada orang kasih duit tak? Tak ada. Yang datang visit aku, mak aku. Where are they? Jadi bila aku kat dalam, bila aku dah macam, aku bukan cakap aku hijrah, tapi bila aku dah jumpa agama, aku dah start to see bigger picture in life. That's why I tell myself, do I really need to be in a gang? Perlu ke? Aku boleh bikin seorang apa? Aku boleh hidup seorang tanpa gang apa? Aku boleh ada kawan, mungkin baru-baru aku takkan ada kawan. Tapi aku boleh pelan-pelan build up life aku, cari kawan yang betul. Where at that point of time, not easy to find lah. Of course kau pun tak boleh sembarang jumpa kau cek, I want to be friends with you. Tak boleh apa. Kau kena perbaiki diri kau. Pelan-pelan Tuhan akan jumpa kau dengan orang-orang yang baik. Correct. It's all about fixing yourself first.
Kalau kau dah relate, kau dah berubah, I think there are a lot of people who like to reconnect back with you.
There's a lot of challenges juga. So bila aku keluar tu, I was still in the gang. Okay. But bila aku dah start to jumpa dia, aku macam rasa macam boring. Life aku still come back to square one.
Stagnant gitu lah.
Lepak, pergi Faiz, makan dekat apa tu, Cahaya apa tu,
Cahaya kat atas, tak sedap lah sekarang.
Habis lepas tu kau macam siang, orang dalam podcast kau cakap orang tak sedap.
Aku
tak sponsor tau.
Aku to be honest lah, habis nak bikin food review, next week nak bikin food review, kau nak suruh aku tipu.
Baca lah dia
makan dia, sedap gila babi Noel siot.
Then that's not the point lah Tapi yalah, macam pada aku macam waste time ke tu tak. Bila aku kiki balik, boring apa, asyik keluar, asyik macam tak ada aktiviti, macam asyik jumpa, habis lepak Takar Garden, habis aku tak nak minum. I don't want to drink anymore. But at that age, bila aku keluar umur aku, I went in at 16. Aku keluar umur aku 18-19 if I can recall. That's where some of my old gang friends dah start to be involved in drugs. When I start ambil drug, tu time dorang zaman ecstasy, zaman I semua dah ada lah. That's where how aku dapat relax is one of my gang friends, dia dah terlebih aku rasa, dah trip. So at that point of time, aku dengan wife aku tengah baru matai. We were just in a relationship, tengah baru girlfriend boyfriend. So bila dia tengah trip tu, randomly dia maki wife aku. Dia maki rabak bro. Habis aku macam, what's your problem? Siapa masalah kau?
Kena aku randomly tumbuk dia bro.
Tapi tu time bila dia maki tu, it was online. That one was zaman MSN. Dulu zaman MSN, lama kita ramai-ramai akan ada group, macam ada group juga. So dia dah, aku rasa dia trip. So aku macam sengaja lah, aku cakap dengan dia, kau ni aku jumpa kau jangan cakap aku kau trip. Dia cakap dengan aku, betul tak bro, aku tak trip. So aku tanya dia, kenapa kau maki dia? Memang the actual fact dia memang tengah trip lah kan? Or maybe dia ada grudges dengan aku. Jadi aku dah start to realise, bila kita still be involved in gang, dia sama juga in a company where there's politics. Tak semestinya korang satu baju, korang satu gang. Ada juga politik. Dia ni tak suka dia ni tak suka dia ni. Bini dia ni suka dia ni, mata dia ni suka lelaki ni. You know, this kind of thing. It happens.
Politics
kan? It's all politics. So that conversation was quite intense. Aku pun memang tu time pun memang dah bingit dengan dia juga. So aku memang dapat jumpa dia. Aku memang dapat sebat dia.
Sebat?
Aku sebat dia.
Baru kau relax?
Aku sebat dia. Okay, so that point of time memang aku nak tengok. And at that point of time aku punya headman was kat dalam. Headman aku dekat dalam. And at that point of time memang aku terus terang aku cakap kau, sebelum aku keluar tu aku dah tanam niat yang aku nak keluar daripada baju. Pasal aku nak rebuild balik. Aku nak build my life lah. Pasal apa, aku kesiankan mak aku. Aku kesiankan mak bapak aku. Aku dah banyak susahkan diorang. So bila aku ingatkan pasal their sacrifices, my parents sacrifices, aku macam rasa all I need is to spend time with them. All I need is to make them proud. That was my main focus. Jadi in order for me to do that, aku kena keluar daripada gang. Cuma what were the method? How did I keluar? Macam mana? Because kalau kita ikut zaman dulu, nak keluar nak kena tai kuat.
Even aku punya wife tanya bro, pasal dia dulu counselor, betul ke sayang, dulu kalau you nak kena keluar daripada geng, you kena tai kuat lah, you kena buat ini, nak kena bayar duit lah ke apa-apa.
I think it depends to a certain extent juga.
Aku cakap wife aku,
it depends to a certain extent juga. Mungkin kalau kau ada buat salah dengan geng kau, then mungkin kau kena do something then baru kau relax. Cuma at that point of time, to be honest, I'll just say openly, aku was ready for battle lah. Aku was ready for war. Because this is my freedom. Right. This is my life, my future. I'm ready to fight for it. Kalau aku boleh fight untuk brother-brother lama aku, kenapa aku tak boleh fight untuk life aku? Kenapa aku tak boleh fight future aku demi untuk aku ada dengan family aku.
Betul.
Because my intention is aku bukan nak join other gangs. Aku just want to have a peace of mind. I just want to have peace in my life. So kalau korang nak stop aku, I was telling myself I'm ready to battle. Memang aku that point of time aku was against everyone.
Apa nak jadi-jadi lah
Jadi lah. Bukan nak gaduh, bukan nak macam nak create a havoc ke apa. It's just that I'm ready because aku tahu this is my life. Because why? When I was in RTC, I don't see any good things of having a brothership. Where were you guys? I'm the one suffering. Aku duduk bilik sel seorang. Of course aku kena be answerable of my own actions. Tapi tak ada orang akan faham aku. Tapi yang siapa yang merana, siapa yang susah is parents aku.
Betul.
So after that incident happen, bila aku dia first aku rembat dia lah. Okay, aku rembat dia, gedebak-gedebuk tu semua. Then kita came out an agreement where kita fight. Kita kena fight. Okay. Kita fight, kita dapat kira nak settle lah, nak ada closure lah kan. Okay lah, tak nak macam gini, kita fight. So bila kita fight, I took that advantage. That aku kira macam merajuk lah. Macam aku tak. Okay, the thing is that bila that happen, bila dia maki wife aku tu, aku felt like no one is by my side. Pada diorang macam setakat maki matai apa.
Tak faham tak? Gini bro, sibuk lu dari Cak Nonok
Pada diorang macam lah, setakat maki matai apa, takkan nak bingit, takkan brother so ni brother so. Aku tupak aku dah tak boleh angkat lagi lah. Jadi bila aku dah dapat settle the fight, that's where aku took an advantage. Aku took the opportunity. Aku cakap dengan geng aku nak relax. Macam nak cakap aku hampa. So I'm prepared lah. Kau nak cakap aku relax pasal Nonok ke, aku nak relax pasal, sorry kata kasar lah, memang dulu kan kita cakap, orang selalu cakap apa, kalau kau nak pentingkan perempuan daripada kawan lelaki, they will label us as dari Cak Nonok ke atau whatsoever lah kan. But to me the point here is I could just use that as an advantage. But I'm just disappointed lah. Okay, disappointed. And I know I got no direction. I will have no direction if I were in the gang.
Betul.
Jadi the first step that I have to do is I have to leave the gang. And I'm prepared. Tapi nasib aku baik lah. So bila aku dah pass the message, aku cakap aku nak relax, I was surprised that orang pun let me go just like that. Tapi memang sekarang pun korang relax je. Tak ada orang nak kacau. Korang nak cakap kau tai kuat ke apa. Kalau kena tai kuat pun sekejap je lah, 5 minit merimbat je lah. Because you have to understand, that's macam kadang-kadang orang tanya aku tahu. Kadang-kadang orang berbual mepik juga dengan aku kat live. Bang, aku nak relax lah, tapi aku kalau nak relax aku kena tai kuat lah. Aku cakap, engkau kalau ambil baju means you are ready to be beaten up, or you're ready to beat people apa. Setakat tai kuat ni 5-10 minit kan tak boleh angkat. Betul tak? Betul. Kalau kau nak betul keluar, you have to sacrifice kau punya pain of your body for that what. Mungkin taekwondo, orang cakap zaman taekwondo 1 batang rokok. Pergi perang pun boleh. Tapi for your information guys, what is taekwondo? Taekwondo tu kira ramai-ramai keropok, ramai-ramai bantai budak tu for maybe like 3 minutes, 5 minutes atau depending on macam mana budak tu kena bully lah tu video. Something like that. Kena rimbat, then dah habis kau boleh keluar. But aku tak tahulah zaman sekarang masih ada taekwondo ke tak. Tak ada lah bro. I don't know lah. Kalau aku kau kena taekwondo, kau panggil bapak kau pergi rimbat diorang tu satu. Ni benda-benda taekwondo ni semua jangan, tak payah nak. Semua setahu aku kebanyakan orang bila once they don't want to be part of the gang, diorang dah tak buat demi normal contribution lah, ada money, tak keluar muka, and then suddenly diorang MIA, nombor telefon semua tukar. So sekarang boleh macam gitu je, boleh just hilangkan diri je. I mean most of people aku tahu yang diorang nak relax dah buat gitu. But for me personally, I didn't do that lah. Pasal aku nak ada closure. Kau relax macam mana that time? Wish, cerita dia back to the story where I was saying that my father passed away when I was inside. So itu kira macam aku punya biggest, macam bila aku duduk tu aku fikir balik, okay lah, aku will find answers when aku keluar. So because aku punya gang members ni semua, some of them know aku punya abang. Kita dah pernah pergi gym sama-sama. Okay. Kita dah workout sama, dah kenal, Facebook semua dah friend semua. So aku macam okay tak apa. Macam aku cakap, kawan aku message aku tu kan, how did my friend know my father passed away? Hari tu yang bapak aku meninggal tu, dia tahu, diorang tahu. Kawan-kawan aku di sekeliling aku semua tahu. Okay. So diorang hantar e-letter kat aku saying ni. Tapi budak-budak geng member aku tak ada satu orang pun tulis surat dekat aku. Kira member kat yang member kau lain tahu. Member budak-budak kampung aku, budak-budak Tampines ni, ada orang took the initiative to message me.
to send me the e-letter.
Okay.
Tapi tak ada orang dalam geng member aku pass message to any of the inmates inside. Datang bila aku, bro, sebenarnya aku dapat dengar cerita bapak kau meninggal. Tak ada orang. So the question is, where were my gang members at that point of time?
Okay, faham.
So when aku dapat ni berita, that's where aku bila dekat Yat tu aku jalan seorang-seorang, aku pergi balik cak. Di saat all this happen, aku punya jiwa kat aku punya brother-brother dulu, mana pergi?
Yalah.
Betul tak? Okay, that one is fine. I think aku masih boleh angkat lah. But when I came out of prison, so I asked my brother, bila kau turun liang lahat tu, siapa di sekeliling kau? Oh, tak mau cakap macam tu lah. Siapa call kau? Siapa di kalangan kawan aku call kau? Oh, dia cakap, oh, salam takziah bro, bapak meninggal Dia cakap, none of your friend Haikal.
None of your gang friends ah?
Tak, friends pun sama.
Okay.
Pasal kawan-kawan aku semua, they personally go to me and tell me, oh bro, aku dengar bapak, aku keluar je, orang call aku cakap, Kel, aku dengar kau baru keluar. Aku dengar juga bapak kau meninggal dia kat dalam. Aku minta maaf ini semua. Diorang call aku straight away. Diorang tahu aku dah keluar je, diorang call aku, ramai-ramai call aku. Tapi di saat tu mana game member aku semua. So kalau kau cakap aku brother, kau aku kira macam kamcing ho rabah. Bapak aku masuk liang lahat, tak tu bukan bapak kau juga ke?
Yalah.
Lu cakap dengan kau brother apa? Bapak gua masuk dalam liang lahat, asal lu tak sambut bila gua tak ada. So aku macam, that's why aku
kenal. It's an eye opener for you
Aku kenal wife aku kan. And I think there were some things that happen bila kita dekat dia punya rumah tengah gathering. He offended my wife at that point of time lah. So aku macam, this woman is not from our generation. She don't know anything about gangsterism. Dia budak baik. Dia tak tahu apa-apa pun. Dia tak tahu pasal dada, dia tak tahu pasal anything got to do with gangsterism, dia tak tahu. So the hierarchy in the gangsterism pun dia tak tahu. So she treat you like a normal human being.
Yeah.
Dia kena marah. Terus aku macam feel taken aback lah, like you know. Then he used this term like at that point of time aku nak belajar. I was taking my diploma in digital marketing. And then he was giving me doubts lah, like, I know you bro, I think kau takkan boleh pass kau punya diploma. Cakap bro, bila kau kenal aku tu, it was 5 years ago. So ni aku baru keluar ni kan, the azam is lain. Aku nak betul-betul nak make diploma. So aku macam challenge balik. So you think if I cannot make it, kalau aku pass diploma aku, macam lu kepala, lu boleh tak sponsor kau punya diploma?
Kau cakap dengan gang friends kau ni lah?
Tak, this headman of mine lah. Can you sponsor my degree? So ultimately dia cannot take the challenge lah. Because aku dah betul-betul berazam nak berubah. Then I felt like macam kesian lah macam mak aku. And after hearing the stories of how my family resolve with me not around, bapak aku masuk liang lahat, aku tak ada. So aku macam, I don't want lah. I want to be there in each and every moment yang akan terjadi dalam hidup. So aku macam, okay lah. And then aku tak, masa tu aku confident yang wife aku ni, she was the one. So I did some test on her. Then macam aku yakin she's the one. And terus aku cakap, look, I tell you what, aku bukan nak jadi jantan kelepih, but yes, because of you, I change. Because I think you have given me a lot of direction in life. Terus aku pelan-pelan aku declare yang aku nak keluar daripada gangsterism. And then after that I left that group 1 year after my
Tapi
marriage.
kau declare, kau cakap kau bilang dorang honestly lah? Kau straightforward kau cakap dengan dorang je?
There were things that happened lah in between my relationship with my wife. So something bad happened, and then aku tak boleh angkat. And then aku kept it for so long until I got an evidence that this thing happened because of this person. Aku dapat tahu, kira macam backstabbing lah. Okay. So aku just kasih the summary of the story whereby dia cakap kau cakap dengan aku kau brother. Okay. Tapi takkan aku nak pergi bilang orang kau punya buruk. Kata brother apa. So he backstab me by telling my story to another person. Whether it's true or not true, but the act of it is still wrong. So untuk aku, I felt the sense of betrayal. Cakap, mana benda-benda ni yang kau cakap? Tak ada saja. So it took me like 1 year, a few months lah. So aku dapat evidence kan, yang actually dia yang backstab aku confront dia. Tapi bila aku dah confront dia tanya aku lagi, like apa lagi kau nak? Cakap aku nak lagi satu benda je. Aku dah tak nak ada anything to associate with this gang lah. Reason being is because you tried once to destroy my relationship. Okay. How I made a man with my wife, her family is another story. But this is what it's gonna be. Aku dah tak nak jadi gangster lagi. Aku dah tak nak kena mengena dengan gangsterism lagi.
Yalah.
Pasal aku tengok mak aku susah payah nak kena pergi family dia, nak kena convince. Kau ingat mak aku tak malu ke bro? Nak merisik anak orang. Nak cakap apa sih?
Yalah.
Kau dah berbual buruk pasal aku. Okay, sekarang mak aku ni nak pergi merisik anak orang ni, knowing that anak kau ni gangster.
Yalah.
Mana kena teruk muka mak aku? And then you taught me about apa ni, mak kita punya queen, kita mesti nak hormat. Betul lah. But then kau backstab aku. And then the thing is, sekarang mak aku nak kena jumpa mak mentua aku.
Yalah.
To present anak, macam to present aku lah, like okay, kita nak sarung cincin. What would my mother-in-law feel?
Pasal orang cakap ni semua politik.
Betul lah. Then aku macam dia aku macam rasa macam ni mak aku tau bro. Kau cakap pasal aku tak kisah. Kadang kau ceritakan aku dekat orang rumah aku ni, dia punya family. Then it becomes so bad that aku macam, mana aku nak letak maruah mak aku.
Yalah. Tapi I think this is where the first step for us is for them yang listening to this podcast is to make that decision. That is the first step, is to leave. Sekiranya macam
lagi baik jangan join lah, senang cakap
kalau mungkin jangan join tu, that's the most ideal thing, tu paling bagus lah kan. Kalau betul-betul macam mana orang persuade kau, psycho kau pun, don't ever join. Tapi kalau if you have made a decision to leave, that is the first step you have to do. Kau memang kena leave, and trust me, that will be the best decision that you ever make in your life.
Tapi okay, the advantage of not being a gangster now, and advantage of being a free, clean man, kau pergi mana-mana, kau tak payah nak macam,
yalah,
kau tak payah nak takut.
Betul lah. Tak macam pada aku, I mean, kalau let's what I say, you have to look at the bigger picture in life. Sekiranya kalau kau tak join, you are not in a gang member pun, takkan kau tak boleh ada kawan. There are a lot of people who are not in the gang pun happy juga dengan kawan. And at the end of the day, as you grow older, your circle get smaller. Satu hari pun kau akan bertemu juga dengan jodoh kau. You want to settle down.
Betul.
And your focus now is the family. So I think what we want to cross the message over is, if you are still in a gang, you have to try your best. Take your time. Cannot take your time actually.
Tak boleh take your time dulu.
Tak boleh take your time To be honest, I think you have to make the decision now. And trust me, it will be one of the best decision that you ever make in your life. Because memang after bila kau dah keluar, dia akan rasa macam ada awkward sikit, macam rasa lost sikit, macam don't know what to do. But don't relapse, just move forward je. Kau dah buang kawan kau just fokus dekat life kau. And trust me, kau will find happiness there. Because life ni, even with or without gang pun, there are challenges.
Yalah, betul lah.
Tapi tak semestinya kau join gang, kau pay challenges kau senang nak be overcome. No,
there are less people to call you to borrow 100 lah.
Nah, leceh lah. Tapi yalah, I think this is the message that we want to cross over to you guys, is where sometimes it's not just for those yang in the gang or who have never joined gang, but also for parents kan, orang pun need to understand. I think most importantly is to build a relationship with your children. To understand, spend more time dengan orang. To understand orang punya karakter macam mana. Tu pasal kita pun ada banyak challenges, ujian kita ini nak besarkan anak-anak.
Betul.
Okay, but they are still our family.
Correct.
And kita pun tak nak, because lagi korang diorang masih kat dalam gang, the tendency of them getting involved with the wrongdoings is very very high. So we want to avoid. Relax je. Ni benda tak payah nak takut, tak payah nak ni.
Buka baju ni, buka baju ni sedisem semua.
Okay guys, kita pun dah come to the end of the episode. So macam biasa, sebelum kita akhiri episode ini, kita nak share dengan korang a message. Kau ada apa, Kel?
Sekejap.
Aku ada.
Ui.
Kau nak share dulu ke aku share dulu? Silakan, Kel. Apa yang kau tersengi?
Tak ada macam kena mengena dengan ni benda.
That's why macam dia memang ada hint dia lah.
Okay. It's from Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa.
Aku punya kira
kau
macam
tadi Gandhi, ni sekarang Mother Teresa.
Sekejap, mata aku macam, kan, Okay. It goes like this. Spread love wherever you go. Let no one ever come to you without living happier. Kena-mengena kan?
Ya.
Aku cakap lama duk.
Betul lah. Aku macam ada kena-mengena.
Okay, how I want to relate with the story that we just shared. Like, kalau korang tak take this chance to go out from this gang, you will not be happy. Kau akan stay stagnant macam lama live life with a lot of worries. Keluar je.
Because I think some people they will misunderstand that they thought being in the gang is where happiness is. But actually they are wrong.
Bencana bro.
That's why sekarang budak-budak ni mungkin orang rasa being happy is by being in the gang. Because I always have people who say that aku dengan brother-brother baru happy lah. Tak ada brother aku rabak lah. But no, actually the real happiness is bila kau dah keluar daripada gang tu.
Betul.
Yes.
Kat masjid tu banyak brother bro.
Betul. Untuk aku pula my message goes like this. Never be a prisoner of your past. It was just a lesson, not a life sentence. Pasal kita kadang-kadang buat mistake.
Betul.
Kita pun macam kita pernah juga involved in gangsterism. Kita pun pernah terjebak dengan dadah. Tapi alhamdulillah kita diberi hidayah, kita diberi peluang. And sama juga untuk yang for those who are listening, yang who are still involved, apa-apa korang boleh buangkan, and that is the past. It's not a life sentence. Unless you make that a life sentence. Maksudnya kau masih nak berterusan.
Betul lah. Alamak, salah dia ni, aku langgar ni.
Betul.
Dia ni.
Kau dah if you're involved in gang, it's not too late for you to exit and start life afresh. So I think kita also have already come to the end of the episode. It was a good fruitful sharing topics juga.
Deep
so
sikit lah.
Aku hope pun memang this two adalah topik kita ni memang a bit serious lah, because I think this is what I'm going to do, where we share experience tapi kita nak recap and highlight. Correct. With also the current things that is going on in life. Pasal kita pun tak boleh cakap pasal based on cerita kita. Satu cerita zaman era dulu. Kita pun kena berbual pasal era sekarang juga, so that people will understand and is more relatable to them lah.
Correct.
Okay guys, so with that guys, this episode is sponsored by Shima Martin Bridal.
And don't forget to follow them on their social medias, Instagram, TikTok dan juga Facebook.
And korang boleh WhatsApp dorang di 88947691. And jangan lupa pakai promo code REBIT100.
Pakai promo code REBIT100.
Ini blur lah ni Haikal ni.
Tak ada, aku tengah mata tengah steam ni bro. Minta maaf mata tengah sakit.
Korang jangan lupa pakai promo code REBIT100. Rugi lah tak pakai, $100 off lah. Tapi ini untuk package 2 pasang baju ke atas, dan korang akan dapat $100 off. Okay, because in Shima Martin Bridal, affordability at its finest. Okay guys, aku doakan korang semua berjaya dan bahagia. Kita akan jumpa korang lagi till the next episode. Settle.